Okay guys, Caddy here reporting live, and I decided today to take you guys on a little adventure with me. I recently got into a new hobby, as you can see right here, making none other than terrariums. So I thought it'd be great to show you guys how I make them. Ooh, the lighting. Ooh, let's see. Is it golden hour? Is it golden hour? Okay, so I thought I'd bring you guys along and show you how I make them. I'm right now getting ready to go to the Goodwill, because that's where I go to get my bowls, jars, or clear vases, what have you. So yeah, and stay tuned, and next clip will be at the Goodwill. Okay guys, so I have made it to our destination, to Goodwill. We shall see what treasures we find today. I'm aiming to just go in here for only glass bowls, but if you see a deal, you see a deal. I'll get into where I came here for. Pretty interesting. I don't know if it's large enough for what I want to make, but I'm going to keep looking. It's making me hopeful. That's a little snack item. Alright, let's get to it. So this is how I start my terrarium process. Pretty much you see me showing off these cool marbles that I scored at the dollar store, if you could believe it. I'm sure you can, because you've probably seen them. Who knew that they look so great in terrariums? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so I have my soil, as you can see there, and my sand. That's what that is in the plastic dishes there. This is the main dish that I will be using. Yes, I'm so lucky that I found a large one for $3. Don't sleep on the Goodwill. and my rocks that are going to serve as the basis foundation of your dish. This is crucial. You need these rocks at the bottom for drainage. You want that water to have something to fall into and not just linger in the bottom of that dish. That's crucial. And of course, it looks really pretty also. You can mix your sand into your soil as well as have a separate layer. I do that with some of my dishes just to add height, depending on how tall the plants are that I'm using and if I want to give them support. Your preference. Off camera, or not off camera, just on the side of me, you can kind of see this green dish here is something that I'm going to be using next. So I'm going to, you're just going to see me put pebbles into there just prematurely because, I don't know, I just got trigger happy. And why not, Next, you're going to make sure you have, so yes, this is sheet moss. That's not the next step, but sheet moss is crucial. It's going to serve as your top foundation. It's going to cover all of your layers and make it really pretty and kind of make it scenic, if you will. The screen mesh is the next step. You can find this at Home Depot. It comes in the 2 sheets screen mend at Home Depot, or you can get it in the actual door section in your neighborhood. Home Depot, this was cheaper for me, if you believe it or not, $7. I'm sorry, this was $8 as opposed to getting 2 pieces of the screen mesh that's made of the same material, charcoal screen mesh. I prefer using charcoal just because it's breathable, and you will be using charcoal as your next layer, so I figured double helps with oxygen going through it, and just also it's biodegradable. It's a little bit nicer to the plant. Alright, so I cut a nice piece as even as I can to cover the entire bottom of the dish to go ahead and safely add the layers. Please don't mind my sad attempt to try to break down these bits of charcoal. It is not an easy task. Sometimes it just is easy to just leave them whole. It'll break down over time. You can just go ahead and put them on top, and just if you're worrying about them kind of looking all bulky, don't worry. Just cover them with some sand and it'll be okay. And that's what you will see me do eventually. Yes, this is me from the future saying good job, kid. So I'm telling you, you can mix it into the soil, or you can have it separate. It just depends on your preference. You know what? Actually, leave that in there because I like that word. Your preference. Just adding some sand and making it neat. Don't make the sand, it's not gonna be sweet. I really enjoy making terrariums. Might I mention they kind of add a nice little touch to any corner or windowsill, because it's definitely recycling any old glass jars or dishes that you not necessarily want to drink or eat out of. It's just growing nice plants in a different way to display your pottery and display your plants inside your home. Alright, I had to get a lot of sand, as you can see. Soil, as you can see, for this bowl because it's quite deep, and I wanted it to make sure that it was as close to the top as possible, because I wanted to give the plants that I would be rerooting inside of this dish the best opportunity to grow and to have a good life inside of this dish, because it can get pretty hot inside of glass with moisture and humidity and such. So imagine if you lived in a glass bubble, how hot you'd be. So yeah, you want to kind of give them a chance. Don't be afraid to stack that soil in there and really get it up to the rim. It's okay. You can practice different methods for closed terrariums as far as open. Most of mine, I believe all of mine are open terrariums. So I just make sure that because of past mistake, that all of my terrariums, I try to pack as much soil and sand as possible, because that's the foundation that it needs to survive. You can also use wood chips to mix with it. That will also help with retaining moisture. My manicure was already shot at this point, so I said, you know what, I'm all hands in. I love the way that soil feels. Oh, that's me dancing to music in the background that I'm not trying to get copyrighted for, so I will be putting a different one under this clip here. That was random. Okay, so I got some really nice plants. I had 2 plants that I needed to put into a terrarium, believe it or not. And you know, me being me, I went into Home Depot and I walked to the garden section and I saw some. I was like, you know what? This would look really nice. And I wanted to have an aloe vera plant, low-key. So since I was already making terrariums, I just thought, you know, me to me, go ahead and just get you an aloe vera plant. And I got it. They were under $4 for this size, so not too bad. A steal, if you will. A steal. I didn't steal. I promise. Alright, getting ready for that sheet moss. We ready. The sheet moss. Oh, so a key component that I also forgot to mention, that I went ahead and pre-moistened the soil. I found, as you can see, I'm adding more water to it just because I see that it could use a little bit, and I made sure to use something with a nozzle. You don't want to just pour water into these terrariums because it will fill it too much, and then you'll end up having to pour it out and drain it and mess up the layers that you have, so it just gets messy. So do yourself a favor and just use, as you know, tiny bits of water at a time as you possibly can, because again, you really don't want to create too much moisture inside because it will just kill the whole thing, and you don't want to waste all that precious time that you use making it so pretty. I was playing with transitions and I was like, you know, it would be really cool to utilize plants as transitions, so these are what these shots were for. Kind of looks cool, and it also serves you to get a close-up look and see. Look at those tiny aloe vera plants, those tiny guys. And because, you know, I'm always working with wood or some sort of heavy material, why not get some aloe vera as a natural adhesive or a natural antiseptic, on hand. I'm a work in progress, y'all. A work in progress, and I am jamming to some Kid Cudi, y'all. Alright, please do not judge me. I went ahead and fast forward that clip because I did not want the YouTube plant community coming for my neck. I made sure I was being as gentle as I possibly could be with those beautifully grown, rooted plants as far as separating them. It was hard, but I did my very best, y'all. I did my best. So I'm just setting the scene and placing them how I like them, you know, to my own liking. Of course, in the end, I'm going to add some rocks on top to kind of, you know, make it look like a real, you know, woodsy area, y'all. Heck, I want to figure out a way to have a waterfall into one of the terrariums without creating too much moisture. Again, that's a good and bad thing. Stay tuned, because if I figure that out when I do have some time, you guys, I'm going to definitely post that, because that would be pretty neat. How to add water to your terrariums. We may have to use, you know, the fake plants, but I don't want to do that, because I did buy, I went to Five Below and I purchased, anywho, don't worry. Don't let me go on a tangent, guys. It's so easy for me to do that. So, yeah, if I make a video for it, you will see. If not, just don't even worry about it. Alright, so I'm just making it as pretty as I possibly can to go ahead and, you know, make it to my liking so that I'm satisfied with it. And I'm definitely going to do the same tactics for the smaller dish. You practice these same steps no matter how big or how small the dish is. You just adjust it to the size, that's all. You still want to make sure you put a nice, flat layer of rocks as your first layer, no matter what. For drainage, you can adjust your height as far as the rocks, whatever you see fit and whatever works best for you. What you saw is what works best for me. And I find that it's just enough to help, with moisture retention inside of my terrariums the second go round. So do be mindful, guys. Keep an eye on your babies because you don't want them to, suffer. That was quite true. And you're gonna go ahead and see me repeat the same exact steps for the second terrarium that I'm gonna make. I just couldn't help myself. Look at this green glass jar. It just screamed make a terrarium. I mean, what else did they use this for? I mean, plant something inside here. When I saw it, I just knew. Am I right? Any plant people out there? Comment down below. yeah, shout out to Snitchery on Instagram. I saw on her IGTV that she made terrariums and she used one of these candle holders, and I thought that that idea was so cute and so cool. So definitely shout out to her. She also helped me, to sharpen my terrarium making skills, her and her brother, because I just couldn't figure out the whole rock thing in the screen at the bottom. I am so grateful for all people who share plant information. So yeah, shout out to her.